As we head into 2025, I think it's safe to say that this upcoming year, certainly feels like there's the most uncertainty about the global whiskey market, certainly since I've really gotten into whiskey myself. And there's a lot of questions that I think people have here in the US. Availability of certain things has kind of dried up. We're not seeing the same releases come over. Prices are continuing to increase. Will there be new tariffs? And then even in the UK and really all across the world, we're seeing distilleries start to struggle to stay afloat, particularly some of these new distilleries that have a lot of investors and debt that they're trying to pay back and that sort of thing. It's getting a little bit murky. And we'll have all year to kind of talk about that. But at least for the time being, I wanted to take one episode here on Whisky Uncorked and talk about some good things, because I got a shipment of new whiskeys to basically all of us. Some of them have been reviewed already. I got these over from the UK. And since there's not going to be a review this week, which I'll get into, I figured why not take a minute and look at the bottles that I have gotten and that I'm looking forward to doing reviews for. Yes, welcome everyone. I hope you all had a happy new year, happy holidays. We're here. It's finally January of 2025. I got back a couple days ago from my trip to Wisconsin to visit family for the holidays. There was a wedding, and I have a pretty large extended family, so we got together for that, and got to see some people that I don't get to see a whole lot. Unfortunately, I did get sick while I was there. I had a very short and mild bout with our old friend COVID. I'm good. Didn't really affect me a whole lot. Just had a couple days where I didn't feel too good and tested negative pretty quickly. However, my palate's just been a little bit off. It's not 100%. It's close. It's not bad. I can smell, taste. I didn't lose that. But it's just been not 100%. And given that these whiskeys that I intended on reviewing here really over the course of the month of January are new, I'm sure many people are interested or maybe considering buying a bottle, or if they do get over to the States. I'm guessing I have 4 bottles. I'm guessing at least 3 of them will come here. I'm pretty sure all 4 should at some point, but we'll see. Never really know. Actually, one of them might not, because there's some precedence for it. But anyways, we'll get into that later. But yeah, I didn't want to rush those reviews because I only had a few days. I kind of underestimated the amount of time that I would have to kind of come back and get to know a new bottle and do tasting notes and then shoot and edit a video. So I thought that it was just best to maybe get on and just have a little chat about what's coming up. There probably still will be a review this week, but it'll be a pre-recorded whiskey wheel. I have a couple of those waiting, just need to get edited and whatnot, and probably keep an eye out for that if you're interested. I know they're not the most popular thing on the channel, but they're fun for me to do. And hey, it's something. But why don't we get into the bottles that I'm going to be reviewing and talking about, and let you know why I'm excited about them. Try not to ramble on too much, but let's see. We're going back to Islay, and when we're not on Islay, we're pretty close by. But let's see. Let's talk about a distillery that a lot of folks have been talking about. I did pick up the Ardo Infinite Lock. This is their core range release. They had released their 5-year-old age-stated inaugural release, I believe. I think that was just called their inaugural release. This one is 50% ABV, and this and the inaugural release have been getting a lot of praise. Another one of these new distilleries that there's a lot of personality behind this distillery, a lot of well-known names. The first distillery on Islay since Kilchoman, so that's always exciting. Anytime Islay gets a new distillery, I think that people's ears kind of perk up. And yeah, the whiskey has been reported to be pretty good, so I figured it was safe to probably pick up a bottle. As you may know, I'm not a massive fan of super young Scotch whiskey, but there are some gems out there, and I do enjoy them. Just maybe some people really enjoy them. So anyways, pick this up. Looking forward to talking about this. I know a lot of people have some high hopes with Ardo over on Isla. So keep an eye out for the review on that one. That one I would imagine will make it to the U.S. at some point. It is their regular release. The inaugural release had like 70,000 bottles, I guess, were made, and that, as far as I know, did not come over to the U.S. So I was a little worried that maybe they don't have a distributor set up yet, and they didn't have any problem selling that the 70,000 bottles, the first 70,000. So, yeah, we'll see. I imagine that at some point we should see some Ardo coming on over to the States here. So let's move on. We're just going to stay on Isla. And one of my pet distilleries, we're back at Brooklot and their Port Charlotte line. This is the SYC 01, their annual cask exploration series, bottled at 54.4%. I've had the OLC and the MRC. I think I did reviews on both of those, at least one of them, maybe only one. I can't remember. I should have checked before I got on, but this is the first one of these that I've actually bought in a few years, because I just finished really both of those bottles earlier this year, I believe. So finally picked up the new one I said I was going to pick up this year's, and here we are. It is a Syrah red wine cask, which is certainly divisive, right? I mean, the red wine influenced Scotch whiskey, and even in like bourbon and rye these days, you either love them or you hate them. I've had good experiences with them, Long Row Red, of course, and generally speaking with the Cask Exploration series here with Brooklot. However, I've had some pretty bad whiskeys, both from Scotland and from the U.S., that it's pretty clear those red wine casks were a little unruly and maybe weren't the best idea. Anyways, I have faith in Brooklot. I have sipped a little bit of these 4 bottles, so I kind of have at least a little idea of the direction they're going in. As I said, my palate isn't 100%, but I'm getting an idea of what's going on, and actually did do a quick side-by-side with one of the Long Row Reds, because I was curious like how closely these two lines are tasting, since we are losing at least the Long Row Red series. They're replacing it with like 100 proof or 114 proof here in the States, annual release. So I think this year's is Pinot Noir again, that's a whole nother video, but a little disappointing. They must have a lot of Pinot Noir casks. Anyways, so I have high hopes for this one, even with it being the red wine cask. Brooklot doesn't miss too often. I don't think I've ever owned a bottle that I didn't like, but anyways, looking forward to getting into this one a little bit more and seeing if it's worth the price, because this is 10 years old, and these tend to be like $140, $150. I certainly hope that this doesn't land here any higher than that, because it's already kind of pushing the limits. But again, I guess when the Long Row Reds are going for at least that, maybe that's what they're thinking. Anyways, this should hit the States. These normally do, with the one caveat that you can still buy many of the previous releases. They're still on the shelf here, probably because they're expensive. So it's possible that maybe with the way things are going in the U.S. and stores are, kind of the whole whiskey, there's a lot of uncertainty. As I mentioned, the whole whiskey industry is kind of backed up. And yeah, you can check out some of the bourbon channels. Pretty much everyone has made some sort of a video just about the state of the industry at this point. And that's going to affect Scotch, right? We saw that the Scotch imports or exports from Scotland are down, what was it, like 36% and things like that. And so there's maybe a chance that this isn't maybe as widely distributed in the US. I assume it probably still will be. But anyways, I have one and looking forward to it. Last bottle from Isla. We've got the Snag Cask Strength. This one may have actually already hit the States. I did see this on an online shop here in California the other day. This is sold out, so I don't know if it just got put on the store. Maybe they haven't gotten it yet, or um, they were able to get some early. I've only seen it on that one store, but this may be here in the States already. And I was really looking forward to this one when they announced it, 57.8%. And I loved the Snag. I did a review on my first bottle earlier this year. I gave it a 9 out of 10. And it's a fantastic Isla whiskey. And was wondering how similar this would be to the basic, the core range Snag. If this was just a cast strength version, or if this was going to be different, and if it was different, why would they name it the Snag? But I can tell you at least that first sip, and again, palate's not 100%. This does seem to be a little different, but I haven't done a side by side yet. It does seem to have some different characteristics, and is a cleaner Kilchoman, I guess, where Kilchoman tends to be pretty industrial for me. But so far, so good. The first couple small drams out of this have been pretty solid, even despite my palate issues. So I'm hoping that continues. So this one, I might try to do this one first if this is arriving in the States or is in the States. Maybe I'll try to get this one done next week. We'll see how it goes. Just for those of you that are looking. Final and maybe the most interesting bottle. I've purchased my first official bottling of Jura. This is their new 16-year-old Perspective number one, 46.5%, unchill filtered and natural color. Pretty affordable as well, at least over in the UK. I don't know if this will hit the States. Jura's it's not as big of a brand here. Most supermarkets, this is a supermarket whiskey. Well, Jura in general is a supermarket brand over in the UK, and you don't necessarily see it in a lot of the supermarkets here. You usually have to go to like a Total Wine or a Bevmo. They usually will be carrying something like this, or their core range from Jura, sorry. So I don't know if this is going to come over. Additionally, when Fettercairn did their rebrand, who was also under White and Mackay, who owned Jura, and Dalmore, and Tamnavulin, I believe, is the other one. I get Tamnavulin and Tullibardine mixed up every once in a while, but I think it's Tamnavulin. When they kind of did the rebrand of Fettercairn and they went more fully natural, those bottles never came over to the States, unfortunately. So it's possible that maybe when it comes to these sorts of bottlings, White and Mackay isn't super concerned with having them come over here, at least not right away. I hope it does. This has gotten some pretty good responses. So, and first sip of this was pretty solid for the neck pour. I think I've only had the one out of this one, but yeah, some pretty interesting conversations around not just Jura, but I think White and Mackay, and yeah, I'll save it all for that video. But looking forward to this and hoping it's good, hoping it's easy to support for whiskey enthusiasts, and because I think when companies make things like this, those of us who complain and demand better presented whiskey from some of these companies, when they do it, we should be there to support it as much as we possibly can. So at least until we discover that it's not so great. But so far, so good with this one. So those are the four that I have coming up. I hope they'll all be out this month, or, I don't know if they'll be 4 in a row. I have a couple other bottles I'd like to do a review of. Another, I got a Lagavulin 8. It's my first bottle of that. Another Isla, and I grabbed something else. Oh, I got the Glenglassaugh Sand End finally. Got a great deal on it. I know that a little late on the train for that one, because that was a pretty popular bottle, I think maybe this time last year. But I finally got one. It was a great price. I couldn't pass it up, and we'll probably be mixing that one in at some point. And I've got some other things that I've wanted to get on video here, but that should be it. At least the upcoming. I hope you're excited. Let me know which one you're excited to hear about the most. If there's something that you, again, I don't have an order set. I'll probably try to do the Kilchoman first, but if there's some reason why I should do one of the other ones first, let me know. But I think with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry for the no review today. Again, there should be something coming out sometime this week, but it'll be one of my Whiskey Wheel episodes, random sample from my 300 plus sample collection. That was recorded late last year at some point. So it'll have to do for this week, and hopefully everything's back working smoothly next week. But once again, I hope you all had a happy holidays and a great new year. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this year. There's going to be some interesting topics to discuss, and I'm looking forward to see where the channel goes. And hopefully Scotch isn't too expensive by the end of all of this, and I don't know, maybe I'll have to pivot to rum or something like that. Hopefully not. Although rum's pretty good. I am a rum fan, but I really hope Scotch is still an affordable hobby by the end of the year. But we'll see. Thanks again. See you next week.